What happens when a tech billionaire's 26-year-old son crashes his Ferrari into a school bus carrying 12 children, then offers a judge a briefcase with $500,000 in cash to make it all disappear? This entitled man is about to learn that some bribes backfire spectacularly, some family connections mean nothing, and some judges cannot be bought at any price. But what makes this case absolutely shocking isn't just the accident or the outrageous bribe attempt. It's what Judge Frank Caprio discovered when he opened that briefcase in open court, what he found hidden beneath those cash bundles, and the federal conspiracy that unraveled in the next 48 hours. If you're not subscribed, hit that button now, because what happens next will restore your faith in justice. Watch until the end, because the twist will leave you speechless. It's a Tuesday morning in Providence Municipal Court, and the atmosphere feels different. There's an unusual tension in the air, a sense that something significant is about to unfold. The gallery is fuller than normal, packed with reporters who got word that something newsworthy would happen today. The case is straightforward on paper. Traffic violations, reckless endangerment, and leaving the scene of an accident. But the defendant's name is what drew the media attention. Tyler Hawthorne, age 26, son of tech billionaire Gregory Hawthorne, founder and CEO of Hawthorne Technologies, a company worth $18 billion. 4 days ago, Tyler was driving his cherry-red Ferrari 488 through a residential neighborhood in Providence at 11:15 in the morning. He was driving 85 miles per hour in a 25-mile-per-hour school zone. He ran a red light at the intersection of Benefit Street and Waterman Street. He crashed directly into the side of a yellow school bus carrying 12 elementary school children. The bus flipped onto its side. Children were injured. 3 suffered broken bones. 5 had concussions. 2 required surgery. 4 teachers on the bus were hospitalized. The bus driver, a 58-year-old woman named Patricia Coleman, suffered severe whiplash and back injuries that may end her 23-year career. Tyler Hawthorne fled the scene. He left his destroyed Ferrari, left the screaming children trapped in the overturned bus, and ran. Police found him 3 hours later at his penthouse apartment, showering, trying to wash away any evidence. The bailiff calls the case. The state of Rhode Island versus Tyler James Hawthorne. Charges: reckless endangerment of minors, excessive speeding in a school zone, running a red light, fleeing the scene of an accident with injuries. The courtroom doors open. Tyler Hawthorne enters, and immediately every eye in the room is on him. He's wearing a custom-tailored Navy suit that probably costs $8,000. His shoes are Italian leather, polished to a mirror shine. His hair is perfectly styled. He's wearing sunglasses indoors, aviators with gold frames. He walks with absolute confidence, almost swagger. He looks around the courtroom like he's assessing real estate, not facing criminal charges. There's no nervousness, no concern, no remorse visible on his face. Behind him walks his attorney, Richard Pemberton, from Pemberton & Associates, one of the most expensive law firms on the East Coast. Pemberton is 60 years old. Silver hair, expensive suit, the kind of lawyer who defends corporate executives and wealthy clients exclusively. But what catches Judge Caprio's attention immediately is what Tyler is carrying. A briefcase, not a normal briefcase. This is a vintage Louis Vuitton attaché case, brown leather with brass fixtures. It looks expensive, vintage, valuable. Tyler carries it like it contains something precious. Judge Frank Caprio watches this entrance carefully. His experienced eyes miss nothing. He sees the arrogance, the expensive clothes, the sunglasses indoors in that briefcase. Mr. Hawthorne. Judge Caprio begins, his voice calm and measured. Please remove your sunglasses. This is a courtroom, not a nightclub. Tyler smirks, takes his time removing the sunglasses, folds them slowly, and slips them into his jacket pocket. The gesture itself is dismissive, disrespectful. Mr. Hawthorne, how you plead to these charges? Tyler's attorney, Richard Pemberton, stands smoothly. Your Honor, before we enter a plea, my client would like to address the court directly. He has something important to present. Judge Caprio's eyebrows raise slightly. Mr. Pemberton, That's irregular. We haven't even established a plea yet. Your Honor, I assure you, what my client has to say will resolve this matter quickly and to everyone's satisfaction. Judge Caprio pauses, studying both men carefully. Something feels wrong. Proceed. Tyler stands, picking up that expensive briefcase. He walks toward the judge's bench with absolute confidence. His attorney doesn't stop him. The bailiff moves to intercept, but Judge Caprio signals to let him approach. Tyler places the briefcase on the table directly in front of the judge's bench. He looks up at Judge Caprio with a smile that doesn't reach his eyes. Your Honor, Tyler begins, his voice smooth and practiced. I want to start by saying I deeply regret the accident. Those children, that bus driver, they didn't deserve what happened. I take full responsibility. Judge Caprio waits, saying nothing. Tyler continues, my father, Gregory Hawthorne, is a prominent businessman. He's taught me that when you make a mistake, you fix it. You make people whole. You do whatever it takes to make things right. Tyler's hand rests on the briefcase. Your Honor, in this briefcase is $500,000 in cash. It's for the families of those children, for the bus driver, for medical expenses, for pain and suffering, for everything they've been through. The courtroom erupts in whispers. Reporters are frantically taking notes. The gallery is buzzing. Judge Caprio raises his hand for silence. When the room quiets, he speaks, his voice dangerously calm. Mr. Hawthorne, are you attempting to bribe this court? Tyler's smile doesn't falter. No, Your Honor, I would never insult the court. This money isn't for you. It's for the victims. I'm simply asking that in light of this gesture of goodwill, in light of my willingness to make financial amends, that the court consider leniency. Richard Pemberton stands quickly. Your Honor, my client is offering restitution to victims. This is entirely appropriate. We're not suggesting anything improper. Judge Caprio's eyes are locked on Tyler. Mr. Hawthorne, you drove 85 miles per hour through a school zone. You crashed into a bus full of children. You fled the scene while those children were screaming, trapped, bleeding. And now you think $500,000 makes that acceptable? Tyler's confidence finally wavers slightly. Your Honor, I panicked. I made a mistake leaving the scene. But I'm here now, try and make it right. Open the briefcase, Judge Caprio says suddenly. Tyler blinks. Excuse me, open the briefcase. You claim it contains $500,000 for the victims. Open it. Let's see this money you're offering. Tyler hesitates for the first time. His attorney stands again. Your Honor, I don't see how that's necessary. Mr. Pemberton, sit down. Mr. Hawthorne, open the briefcase now, or I'll have the bailiff do it. Tyler's hands move to the briefcase latches. They click open with sharp metallic sound that echo in the silent courtroom. He lifts the lid. The briefcase is indeed filled with cash. Stacks of $100 bills neatly bundled, filling the case. It's an impressive, almost overwhelming sight. Several people in the gallery gasp. But Judge Caprio stands up from his bench. Bailiff, bring that briefcase to me. The bailiff carefully lifts the briefcase and carries it to Judge Caprio's bench. Judge Caprio looks down into the case, studying it carefully. Then his hand reaches in, and he begins lifting out the bundles of cash, stacking them on his bench. He removes 5 bundles, then 10, then 15. The stacks of cash grow higher on his bench. Then Judge Caprio's hand stops. His fingers touch something else in the briefcase, something beneath the cash bundles. His expression changes dramatically. He pulls out a manila envelope. It's sealed, thick with contents. He holds it up. Mr. Hawthorne, what is this? Tyler's face goes pale. I don't know what that is. You don't know what's in the briefcase you brought into my courtroom? That must be something my father put in there. I didn't know. Judge Caprio opens the envelope. He pulls out documents. His eyes scan them rapidly, and his face becomes a mass of controlled fury. Mr. Pemberton approached the bench. Now, Richard Pemberton walks forward, and Judge Caprio shows him the documents. Pemberton's face drains of all color. Judge Caprio's voice cuts through the silent courtroom like a blade. These documents are instructions. Detailed instructions on how to offer this money, what to say, how to phrase it to avoid explicit bribery charges while still making the intent clear. There's even a script for what Mr. Hawthorne was supposed to say to me. Tyler is frozen, speechless. Judge Caprio continues reading. There's also a letter in here. A letter from Gregory Hawthorne himself, addressed to me. Would you like me to read it aloud, Mr. Hawthorne? Your Honor, please. The letter says, and I quote, Judge Caprio, my son made a mistake, but he's young, and his future shouldn't be destroyed over one error in judgment. The enclosed funds should more than compensate the victims. I trust a man of your wisdom understands that sometimes practical solutions serve everyone better than harsh punishment. My family and I will be grateful for your understanding, and that gratitude could be expressed in various ways should you find yourself open to future conversations. The courtroom explodes. Reporters are shouting questions. The gallery is in chaos. Judge Caprio bangs his gavel repeatedly. Order, order in this court. When silence finally returns, Judge Caprio's voice is ice. Mr. Hawthorne, your father just attempted to bribe a sitting judge in writing. That letter is evidence of conspiracy to obstruct justice, attempted bribery of a judicial officer, and witness tampering. Tyler's attorney tries desperately. Your Honor, I had no knowledge of that letter. I was not aware. Mr. Pemberton, I suggest you leave this courtroom immediately and retain your own attorney, because you may need one. Pemberton grabs his briefcase and rushes out. He's abandoning his client entirely. Tyler stands alone now, no attorney, no support, facing Judge Caprio's unwavering gaze. Mr. Hawthorne, do you understand the severity of what just happened? Your father attempted to bribe me. You were the delivery mechanism for that bribe. This isn't just about the accident anymore. This is federal criminal conspiracy. Tyler's voice cracks. I didn't write that letter. I didn't even know it was there. My father told me to bring the briefcase, to offer money for the victims. I was just doing what he said. You're 26 years old. You're an adult. You made the choice to bring that briefcase into my courtroom without knowing its full contents. You made the choice to flee the scene of an accident where children were bleeding. You made choices, Mr. Hawthorne, and choices have consequences. Judge Caprio picks up his phone. Get me the FBI field office in Providence. I need to speak with the special agent in charge immediately. Tyler's legs actually buckle. He grabs the table for support. Within minutes, the courtroom speakerphone activates. A professional male voice comes through. This is Special Agent Derek Morrison, FBI Providence Field Office. Judge Caprio. Yes, Agent Morrison. Thank you for taking my call. I have you on speakerphone in Providence Municipal Court. I have a situation requiring immediate federal attention. Go ahead, Your Honor. I'm hearing a case involving Tyler Hawthorne, son of billionaire Gregory Hawthorne. The defendant brought a briefcase into my courtroom containing $500,000 in cash, ostensibly for victims of an accident he caused. Hidden beneath the cash was a letter from Gregory Hawthorne attempting to bribe me, offering that if I showed leniency to his son, his gratitude could be expressed in various ways in future conversations. There's a pause. Your Honor, you're saying you have physical evidence of attempted bribery of a federal judicial officer? The letter is right here, along with detailed instructions on how the bribe should be delivered. Your Honor, that's a federal crime. Bribery of a judicial officer carries 15 years in federal prison. I'm dispatching agents to your location immediately to secure that evidence and take both Tyler and Gregory Hawthorne into custody. Tyler collapses into his chair, his head in his hands. Agent Morrison continues, Your Honor, we've actually been investigating Hawthorne Technologies for securities fraud for the past 6 months. Gregory Hawthorne has been under surveillance. This attempted bribery gives us probable cause to accelerate our investigation and execute search warrants on his company and personal properties. Judge Caprio asks, "What happens next, Agent Morrison?" "Your Honor, federal agents are en route. We'll arrest Tyler Hawthorne in your courtroom on federal conspiracy charges. We'll simultaneously execute arrest warrants for Gregory Hawthorne at his residence and search warrants for Hawthorne Technologies headquarters. The evidence you've secured may be the key to our larger case against the entire Hawthorne organization." The call ends. Judge Caprio looks at Tyler, whose world is collapsing around him. "Mr. Hawthorne, before federal agents arrive, I want to address the original charges. You crashed into a school bus carrying children. Let me bring in someone who wants to speak." Judge Caprio signals, and the courtroom doors open. Patricia Coleman, the bus driver, enters slowly. She's 58 years old, moving carefully, clearly still in pain. She's wearing a neck brace. She walks with a slight limp. Behind her, walking in pairs, are parents of the children who were on that bus. Their faces show a mixture of grief, anger, and exhaustion. Patricia Coleman approaches the bench, and Judge Caprio asks gently, "Ms. Coleman, please tell the court how this accident has affected you." Patricia's voice trembles but remains strong. "Your Honor, I've been a school bus driver for 23 years. I've driven thousands of children safely to and from school. I love my job. I love those kids. They trusted me to keep them safe." She looks directly at Tyler. "That morning, I was making my regular route. I stopped at the red light. I was singing with the kids. They were excited because it was someone's birthday. Then everything exploded. The impact was so violent. The bus flipped. I heard children screaming. I couldn't help them. I couldn't move. I was trapped." Tears streamed down Patricia's face. "I have 3 herniated discs in my back. I had surgery, but the doctors say I'll never be pain-free again. I can't drive anymore. I can't do the job I loved. But worse than the physical pain is the guilt. Those children were my responsibility, and I couldn't protect them." Tyler is crying now, silent tears running down his face. One of the parents steps forward. "Your Honor, my name is David Chun. My daughter Emma was on that bus. She's 8 years old. She had a broken arm and a concussion. But the worst part is the nightmares. She wakes up screaming every night, reliving the crash. She's terrified of cars now. She won't ride in vehicles. My wife and I have to walk her to school because she's too traumatized to ride the bus." Another parent speaks. "I'm Jennifer Walsh. My son Michael, he's 7. He needed surgery on his leg. He's in physical therapy. He asks me every day why that man drove so fast. Why did he hurt them? I don't have an answer." Judge Caprio lets each parent speak. The testimony takes 20 minutes. Every story is heartbreaking. Every child's trauma is real and profound. When they finish, Judge Caprio turns to Tyler. "Mr. Hawthorne, you heard these people. You heard what you did to these children, to Ms. Coleman, to these families. What do you have to say?" Tyler stands, his voice breaking. "I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. There's nothing I can say that makes this better. I was driving recklessly. I was showing off. I thought I was invincible. I never imagined I could hurt anyone. When I crashed, I panicked. I ran because I was scared. I'm a coward." He looks at Patricia. "Ms. Coleman, you dedicated your life to protecting children, and I destroyed that. I'm sorry." He looks at the parents. "Your children suffered because of my selfishness. I wish I could take it back. I can't. I'm sorry." Judge Caprio's voice is firm. "Mr. Hawthorne, your father tried to buy your freedom. He tried to corrupt the justice system to protect you. That money in the briefcase, it doesn't heal trauma. It doesn't erase nightmares. It doesn't give Ms. Coleman her career back." The courtroom doors burst open. 6 FBI agents in tactical gear enter, led by Special Agent Morrison. "Tyler Hawthorne, You're under arrest for conspiracy to obstruct justice and conspiracy to bribe a federal judicial officer. You have the right to remain silent. As Tyler is handcuffed, Judge Caprio speaks. Agent Morrison, before you take him, I want to impose sentence on the original charges. Of course, Your Honor. Judge Caprio's voice rings through the courtroom. Tyler Hawthorne, on charges of reckless endangerment of minors, I sentence you to 2 years in state prison. On charges of fleeing the scene of an accident with injuries, 1 additional year. On excessive speeding in a school zone, 6 months. Sentences to run consecutively. Total, 3.5 years. You will also complete 1,000 hours of community service upon release, working with organizations that support accident victims. You will pay full restitution to every victim for all medical expenses, therapy costs, and lost wages. Your driver's license is permanently revoked in the state of Rhode Island. Agent Morrison adds, In Your Honor, the federal charges carry 15 years. We'll be prosecuting aggressively. As Tyler is led away in handcuffs, Agent Morrison approaches the bench. Your Honor, that evidence you secured is crucial. We've just executed arrest warrants for Gregory Hawthorne. He's being taken into custody at his estate right now. We're also executing search warrants at Hawthorne Technologies headquarters. Within hours, the news breaks nationwide. Tech billionaire Gregory Hawthorne arrested for attempting to bribe judge. The story dominates every news cycle. The FBI's investigation accelerates. The evidence from that briefcase leads to discoveries of a massive securities fraud scheme at Hawthorne Technologies. Gregory Hawthorne had been inflating company revenues, misleading investors, and using company funds for personal expenses, including his son's legal problems. Within 48 hours, Hawthorne Technology stock crashes from $340 per share to $87 per share. The company loses $14 billion in market value. The board of directors votes unanimously to remove Gregory Hawthorne as CEO. Federal prosecutors file 47 criminal charges against him. 3 weeks later, Patricia Coleman returns to Judge Caprio's courtroom. She's moving better now. Physical therapy helping slowly. She brings several of the parents and children who were on the bus. Judge Caprio greets them warmly. Ms. Coleman, how are the children? They're healing, Your Honor. Slowly. Emma Chun is riding in cars again. Michael Walsh finished his physical therapy. They still have nightmares sometimes, but they're getting better. They wanted to come here today to say thank you. 8-year-old Emma steps forward, holding a handmade card. Judge Caprio, you made the bad man go away. You kept us safe. Thank you. Judge Caprio's eyes glisten with tears. He takes the card gently. Emma, you're very brave. You're all very brave. 6 months later, Tyler Hawthorne sits in a prison cell. He's not the same arrogant young man who walked into that courtroom. Prison has stripped away the entitlement, the swagger, the belief that money solves everything. He writes letters to each victim family. Most go unanswered, but some write back. Jennifer Walsh writes, Tyler, my son is healing. I hope you're learning that actions have consequences. I hope you become a better person. Gregory Hawthorne is convicted on 43 counts of fraud, bribery, and conspiracy. He receives 22 years in federal prison. His billion-dollar empire is dismantled. His assets are seized to pay restitution to investors he defrauded. 2 years into Tyler's sentence, he receives an unexpected visitor, Patricia Coleman. She sits across from him in the prison visiting room. Tyler can barely look at her. Ms. Coleman, I don't understand. Why are you here? Patricia's voice is kind but firm. Tyler, I'm here because I've spent 2 years angry. Angry at you for what you did. Angry at myself for not protecting those kids better. Anger is exhausting. I came here to tell you something important. What? You made a terrible choice. You hurt people. You destroyed lives. But you're 28 years old now. You have the rest of your life ahead of you. The question is, what kind of person are you going to be? Are you going to let this define you as a failure? Or are you going to use this to become someone who helps others? Tyler's tears flow freely. I don't know if I can. I destroyed everything. You can. When you get out, you have a choice. You can go back to being the entitled boy who thought money solved everything. Or you can become a man who understands the value of every human life. Those children taught me something after the accident. They're resilient. They healed. They forgave. Maybe you should learn from them. When Tyler is finally released after 3.5 years, he's different. The expensive clothes are gone. The arrogance is gone. He starts working with a nonprofit organization that supports accident victims, doing the community service hours Judge Caprio ordered. He speaks at high schools about the consequences of reckless driving. He shares a story, holding nothing back. I thought I was untouchable. I thought my father's money made me special. I nearly killed children because I wanted to show off. Judge Caprio taught me that justice applies to everyone, no matter how much money your family has. 5 years after the accident, Tyler attends a ceremony. Emma Chun, now 13, is receiving an award for her essay about overcoming trauma. Tyler sits in the back, unnoticed. After the ceremony, Emma sees him. She walks over, her parents following protectively. Emma looks at him for a long moment. Then she says, "You're that man, the one who crashed into our bus." "Yes, Emma, I am. I'm sorry for what I did to you." Emma studies him. "You went to prison. You changed." "I'm trying to. Every day." Emma extends her hand. "My mom says forgiveness is hard but important. I'm working on it." Tyler shakes her hand gently. "Thank you, Emma. You're braver than I ever was." If this story moved you, subscribe right now for more moments where Judge Frank Caprio proves that no amount of money, no family connections, no expensive briefcases place anyone above justice. Hit that like button and share this video because the world needs to see what real accountability looks like. Remember Judge Caprio's words: money doesn't heal trauma. It doesn't erase nightmares. It doesn't give back what was taken. That's the legacy of Judge Frank Caprio. That's the courage of Patricia Coleman. That's the resilience of those 12 children. That's the integrity of the justice system when it works as it should. Justice served. Bribery exposed. Conspiracy unraveled. Lives changed forever. And one young man who thought he was untouchable learned the most important lesson of his life. In Judge Frank Caprio's courtroom, everyone is equal under the law.